And hello. Today we'll be looking at algebra fundamentals. So this is purely a lesson on what algebra is and what is used for. We won't really be looking at any techniques in using algebra, or we won't really be looking at solving equations in a kind of ordered way. We're just going to be focusing on what is algebra, how do we use it, and the pure fundamentals of it. So, here's an example that we will use in this lesson, and we'll come back to it later. So, Tom gets 3 packages of milk for his centra. So, he gets 3 kind of crates or boxes of milk. He takes 2 cartons out from the packages. So, he opens one of the packages and he takes 2 out and drinks them. There are 10 cartons left. How many cartons in a package? Okay, so that seems quite difficult to answer if you try and think about it in your head. But what we're going to do is we're going to come back to this later and look at how we might solve it using algebra. So what is algebra? Just a quick little history lesson. Algebra comes from the Arabic word aljabar, which just means reunion of broken parts or just restoration. So the word algebra just originally meant fixing or restoring things, and in maths we were restoring things in equations. So algebra purely means we're looking to restore something, we're looking to find something, and we don't know exactly what that something is, but we're given rules about it. And the rules are in equations, which we'll be looking at later on. What do I actually mean by an equation? But for now, just remember the word. Here's some equations. Again, we won't look too much into what equations actually are, but just know for now that an equation has numbers, it has symbols or letters, and it has an equal sign. And that's it. That's what an equation is. So this equation here has some weird looking symbol. Plus 2 is equal to 8. So then it's asking what's the symbol plus symbol is equal to something. So we're trying to get this question. What's the symbol plus symbol? So this symbol here is what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to say, well, what is it? What exactly is that? This is how we're going to do it. Imagine you have a box. So forget the symbol for a second, a box. Plus 2 is equal to 8. So the rest is exactly the same, but I have a box. Algebra is kind of like a trial and error thing where I can plug in numbers for that box. So let's say I put 1 into this box. 1 plus 2 is equal to 8. Does that make sense? So what's 1 plus 2? That's 3. Is 3 equal to 8? No. Okay, so that's not going to work. What if I tried 5? 5 plus 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Is 7 equal to 8? No. So if I tried 6, 6 plus 2, but that's equal to 8. So 6 is right. If I plug 6 into this box, then I get the right answer at the end. So this box, remember, represents the symbol. So that means that 6 is equal to this kind of weird looking curly P. 6 is equal to that. Okay, so instead of this weird looking symbol, we can just put 6 in from now on. So we know that's equal to 6. So instead of putting symbol plus symbol, I'm going to put 6 plus 6. So remember, my end goal is to solve this guy. So 6 plus 6, well, that's just equal to 12. So I know that symbol plus symbol is equal to 12. So again, I started off by just saying, okay, here's a box that I can plug numbers into. Now, this symbol here is what we call a variable. Why? Because it varies. So do you remember we plugged in 1, 2, 3, 4, and they didn't work, but we plugged in 6 and it did work. So in this case, 6 is equal to the variable. Now, if this was 8, this is 8 here now. What if it was 7? So box plus 2 is equal to 7. Well, in that case, the variable would be 5. So it changes, it varies. Then these guys, the numbers, are called constants. Now, why do we call them constants? Because they are exactly the same. They don't change. Plus 2 is never going to be something else. So you'll hear the words variables and constants, and I'll talk a lot more about them in other lessons, but just for now, you know that a variable is your symbol that's changing, and your constant is a fixed number. It doesn't change. Okay, we have another equation here. X minus 2 is equal to 5. So what's 3 plus x? So again, I'm going to go to my box. This time the box represents x. So I have box minus 2 is equal to 5. So some number I put in here, minus 2 is equal to 5. So if I put, let's say, 6. 6 minus 2, well, that's not right. That's going to be 4. What about 7? 7 minus 2 is equal to 5? Yeah. So that means that 7 is equal to x. So I know x is equal to 7. So what's 3 plus x? That's the exact same thing as saying 3 plus 7. Because remember, we don't have to put the x in from now on. We can just put in the 7. So 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. So that would be the answer to the second equation there. Okay, a little bit of a trickier one now. 2b minus 1 is equal to 7. What is b plus 1? Now, a little bit different. 2b, what does that actually mean? That means 2 multiplied by b. We don't bother to write the multiplying sign just because we're a little bit lazy, but 2b just means b times 2. So 2 times b, but I'm going to put my box that I plug my numbers in, minus 1 is equal to 7. Now this is a bit trickier, so let's try some numbers. Let's say if I put in 3. Now remember, order of operations, BIMDAS, brackets, indices, multiplication, yeah? Multiplication. So 2 multiplied by 3. What's that going to be? 6. Minus 1, that's going to be 5. So is 5 equal to 7? No. So we're going to plug in a different number. We'll put in 4. 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Minus 1, that's 7. 7 is equal to 7? Yeah. So 4 is the number I'm going to plug in here that makes this equation work. So again, what we're doing is we're just plugging numbers in for my box or for my variable, and I'm trying to see which one fits this equation, which one is kind of like the key to this equation. And in this case, it was 4. So b is equal to 4. So from now on, if I see any b anywhere, I'm going to just say that's just 4. Okay, so what's b plus 1? That's the same thing as 4 plus 1, which is just equal to 5. So it's important just to remember for this one, 2b just means 2 multiplied by b. We just don't bother writing the multiplication. Okay, going back to our milk delivery. Now we have a load of English. We don't have just a simple equation given to us. Now, I wouldn't worry if you are still at the stage where you don't know how to find the equation out of this. That's fine. But I just want to show you practically how we use algebra. So, Tom gets 3 packages of milk, and then he takes 2 cartons out from the packages. So, there's 3 packages, he opens up one of them and he takes 2 of them out. There are 10 cartons left now. How many cartons in a package? So, question is, how is algebra going to help me? Well, think about it. I have 3 packages and I'm trying to figure out how many cartons are in a package. So algebra, remember, is the thing we're trying to find. So I'm given a few numbers and then this is what I'm trying to find. So the unknown is going to be my variable. That's what I'm trying to plug in and figure out. So I'm going to let the package be my variable. So again, I have 3 packages. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 boxes. Yeah? Or 3 times a box. Yeah? That's the exact same thing as 3 multiplied by box. And there's the same number in each of these. Minus 2, because I take 2 cartons out. So I've had my 3 packages. I take 2 out. That's going to be equal to 10. Why? Because there's 10 cartons left. So I have a certain amount of cartons in these 3 packages. I take 2 out and then I have 10. That's how I translate from English to maths. Again, if you're not comfortable with that at the moment, that's fine. But again, we're going to see what number would fit in this box. So all the boxes have to have the same number, yeah? It's 3 multiplied by the same number. Minus 2 is equal to 10. So what number do we put in here? Well, it'd be 4. Because, think about it, 3 times 4, so 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 12. Minus 2 is equal to 10. So how many cartons are in a package? Well, there'd be 4. So I had 4 cartons in one package, 4 cartons in another package, 4 cartons in another package. I took 2 out, then I was left with 10. So if I was using the algebra way, I had 3p is what I let my packages be, minus 2, because I take 2 cartons out, is equal to 10. So what's p equal to? Well, p was equal to 4. That's what we found out back here. That's the algebra way of writing it out. We don't really use the boxes. Instead, we write the letter. So the variable in this case is p. Okay, here are some recap questions that you can do, and then I'll go and correct them.